the truth, asking, hey, Mark, what are Tate's chances on running for 1,200 yards if he starts?
All right. I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to answer this as a two-party question. First thing, I have to see him do more of his ball flutters a little too much for me. And still, I seen him complete some pass to the left hash tag, and a deep one, which was pretty good. So he has gotten better. If he starts 1,200 yards, impossible. Rushing as a quarterback with 1,200 yards, has Johnny Manziel ever do that, or did
No.
Did Michael Vick ever do that? I don't even think Michael Vick did that. 12. You're talking about 12. It's hard for a running back who gets 30 carries a game to run for 1,200 yards.
Another thing you got to consider, though, the way they keep yardage totals in college football is unlike the NFL, because the NFL, there's a judgment call made as to that's a sack that doesn't go against the quarterback's rushing yardage. In college football, you got to take into consideration when you look at quarterback rushing yardage, their sack yardage goes against
their rushing. Yeah, it goes against their rushing yard. So I think it's virtually impossible. Secondly, I'm going to tell you, this is my opinion. Okay. If Tate Martell wins the starting position, right, and we have a great year, we go 10 I want 12-0 to be honest with you. But let's say be a realist. We go 10-2. He throws for 64% completion percentage. Let's say he throws 21 touchdowns and like 4 picks or something like that. The offensive line great, running backs great, and we in the bowl game and we lose a close one to Clemson. The sky is going to be high with the fans, but more importantly, the recruiting base. But if Tate Martell wins the job and bombs out, it may hurt recruiting. And the reason why it may hurt recruiting is because you turned your back on a South Florida kid. And whether or not people want to believe it or not, I'm in the message boards all the time. South Florida kids, they stick together. They really do. And you have to. Will Scott say Manziel did it? So I don't know.
So I just checked on that, Zoe. So I appreciate Will Sky checking us. So I just looked it up after he made that comment, and so I always want to get it right. So folks, correct me if I'm wrong. I was actually thinking of, and Zoe knows that I keep the stats locked up here fairly well. So I was thinking of his second season, but yeah, that first year that he won the Heisman, Zoe, he ran for 1,410 yards and 21 touchdowns in the SEC. And he threw 26 touchdowns and he threw for 3,700 yards. He had 5,100 yards and 47 touchdowns against Alabama and LSU and Florida and those other teams they played, Auburn. It was a pretty serious.
He's still not the greatest freshman quarterback to ever live. That goes to the guy
there.
Clemson.
Oh, the kid last year, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, he certainly played in more meaningful games, and he didn't make the mistakes that Manziel made. He threw 9 picks. Lawrence threw 4 against 30 TDs. Manziel was just fun to watch. I
just looked at Trevor Lawrence poise, man. I'm like, he can play in the NFL today. Goodness gracious. Oh my God. I've never seen nothing like it. But I mean, it's possible it could be done. But just remember, as fans, like, these kids watch. I can show you a picture of me and Tate Martell's father taking a picture. So I mean, these kids watch. They listen to us. They watch us. So my main focus right now, even though I'm telling you, my dog in the race is Perry. But if he loses, I am rooting for whoever wins. I'm rooting for whoever wins the position. I root for whoever wins. But just remember, when you dog a certain quarterback or certain player, and you do things like that, that affects recruiting as well. So that's the main thing that I get on when it comes to I hate talking the quarterback position right now because it's such a poisonous conversation. It's almost like talking politics in Miami football, talking the quarterback positions, because is such divided. And I also tell people when it comes to Perry and Jaron Williams and even the quarterbacks before them, they were taught by a quarterback coach that they were smarter than. And that's not a good thing when you're a college, when you're a freshman in college. You know, your quarterback coach, when your quarterback coach is your age and never quarterback coached a day in his life, and he's teaching you, that is going to hinder you a lot. So I believe that this year is the first fair year that they're getting, and it's up to them to win it. But Tate looked pretty good in that scrimmage before last. In the last one, he didn't look so good, but none of them have separated themselves from everything I've seen. Jaron's kind of on the back burner. I think it's between Tate and Perry. I just think right now, I think Perry has a slight edge, just a slight. Perry problem is for some reason, he cannot seem to take some mustard off the ball when on those intermediate and short routes. And if you can't do that, you can't complete passes that way, then you're going to get beat out by a guy who can. So
128 on the line. We got Zoe with us, Alonzo1219. Check out his YouTube channel. It's Alonzo1219, the U family. And George.
Trying to break that.
George, I did not forget that Johnny Manziel lost to Florida. Believe me, I did not forget that. I will even recite the score, 20-14. And so, no, I did not forget that I was just commenting that Manziel ran for 1,400 yards against those teams, against that schedule. I didn't say that he beat Florida. So don't
Did George remember? Did George remember Al Golden beat Florida?